Yeah, this is a technical walkthrough for Helix agent. Uh, Helix is designed for enhancing productivity for recruiters, and this is a project structure. So we are having Helix backend, frontend, and to get started, you need to configure few things first. So you just need to go to backend, and you'll have a environment file. So the things you need to have before getting started is you need to create a PostgreSQL, HelixDB, or whatever name you want. And so you basically need to create a database. And then I'm using Gemini API for the agent. So you need to have a Google API key and Pinecone API as well for integrating RAG for context aware responses. So that's that. And then everything is structured and organize an app. So you'll have API which will create endpoints for all of our services, which includes chat service where you'll go back and forth with our agent on the left side here, and document service is basically for uploading context into Pinecone, and sequence services for generating sequences. And the sequence service goes in two ways. One is generating the initial sequence, and then the second is modifying sequence. So that is so that is getting done through these two tools. The first one is all about generating the sequences. First, once it collects the information like what is the role, companies, uh, what is company about, and candidate, what candidate they need and stuff. It will call the generate sequence function, and you're going to get the sequence generated. And for modifying, we just required one parameter. One is the its modification instruction, something like a name change, or just make it comprehensive, or any particular sequence uh, needs to be modified, or something like that. So that wraps the backend. So front end we okay, and the backend is created using Flask, and the front end here we're using TypeScript and React combination. So everything is structured into source directory components. So where we're having four components, four major ones. So chatbox is this component, the left one, and this is the navigation bar component, and this is the documents, and workspace is this. Once you'll get the sample generated through here, you can see you can see the samples here, and you can copy or edit them, and everything is connected in app. This acts as a unified file for connecting everything. And yeah, so we're also using PostgreSQL. I'll show you the structure. So in the back end, if you can, okay, let me just go. So here we're having three major tables in the database. The it goes like the session table where you're having a session ID, and then created and updated times, and the session ID passes through the messages ID. So and each session it's a one-to-many relation, so one session can have multiple messages, and then one message can have multiple sequences. So it goes like that. I can show you a bit of inside info maybe. So start, yeah. So here, if you can see, the each session is having multiple messages, and it's also getting noted whether the message is through user or model. And yeah, in sequence, it's the same. You'll having one session and the sequence. So yeah, that's a bit about the going through like how the project is structured. And yeah, going forward, I'd like to highlight a few key things that needs enhancements. The first thing is we can add a we can add a ability to send email, fetch candidate emails from drag, or having one-click option to directly post or send messages through LinkedIn. And also we can have a component here, something like conversation history is stored and fetched when required. So if we have multiple sequences, we can go back and forth. Uh, so we can use it for multitasking. Uh, and we can have multiple workspace tabs where recruiter can use it for multitasking for they can have multiple sequences of multiple roles generated, and all these additions are focused on making repetitive tasks easier to handle and boost up the productivity. And there is also one major drawback I noticed while building this. Gemini is not not good for function generation, or it might be the issue with the prompt tuning. Gemini requires a lot of prompt tuning compared to OpenAI's or Cloud APIs. So that's that's the issue I noted while building this project. And overall, I had a good experience building this, and hope you like it. Thanks for watching.